Hello and welcome to the Church of Tjolgtjar. Today we will discuss the energy around the body, that electricity which surrounds every living thing. In humanity, the energy is quite powerful. A human being that can see the auras of others will know where another person is quote-unquote coming from. Knowledge on this largely ignored subject can help good people ward off the bad or change situations entirely to fit a decent interaction with another. We start off with a reading from the Rosicrucian doctrine. In occult writings and teachings, aura has a special meaning, and it is employed to indicate the psychic atmosphere surrounding each human, invisible to the ordinary sense of sight, although perceptible by clairvoyant vision. The human aura is an emanation from the soul, or souls, of the person whom it surrounds. It is akin to the rays of the sun. It's a form of energy rather than matter, yet it possesses a certain substantiality which justifies some writers in treating it as being composed of a very subtle form of matter. The human aura is of an egg shape, and it extends to an average distance of 2 or 3 feet from the body of the person emanating it. A human aura is composed of numerous elements, some low and some of a high order, corresponding to the elements that manifest in the soul of the person. And just as the souls of different persons vary greatly one from the other, so do the auras vary in the same degree. The advanced occultist, with trained clairvoyant vision, is able to read the mental and emotional character of a person like an open book by means of the appearance and coloring of his or her aura. The lowest element in the human aura is that which occultists call the physical emanation. It is almost colorless and is marked by a minute and thin streak or bristle-like marks standing out from the body like bristles on a brush. When the person is in good health, these bristles stand out stiffly, and when the person is in poor health or is suffering from impaired vitality, they droop like the soft hair on the coat of an animal. This element of the aura appears to detach minute particles of itself from the aura as the person moves about, and it is believed that it is by these particles that dogs and other animals are able to track persons. It is this which is the essence of the so-called scent, followed by animals. Another low element in the human aura is one that is called the auric element of vital energy. This element is perceived by clairvoyants as having a faint, pinkish glow, sometimes filled with tiny sparks of vital magnetism if the person is very magnetic. It's occasionally visible to persons lacking clairvoyant vision and appears to them in the form of vibrating air, similar to the heated air rising from a field on a very warm day, or from a stove. Passing over several unimportant auric elements, the student is now asked to consider the most interesting phenomena of the auric colors, which represent the mental and emotional elements in the soul of the man or woman. These elements are the characteristic features of the aura when perceived by clairvoyant vision. The aura presents the appearance of a luminous cloud composed of varied and shifting colors, extending in an egg shape to a distance of about 2 or 3 feet from the body and gradually growing fainter toward its outward limits. Each color in the aura represents some particular thought, mental state, emotion, or feeling in the soul of the person. It'll be seen at once that there is an almost infinite variation and shading of these auric colors, owing to the complexity in the emotional states of the average person. And now, the following table of the auric colors will give you the key to the shading and blending in the cloud composing the aura. Black indicates hatred, malice, revenge, and other low feelings. A bright shade of gray indicates selfishness, and a ghastly shade of gray indicates fear and terror. A dark shade means melancholy. A bright live shade of green indicates diplomacy, worldly wisdom, and polite deceit in general. A dirty muddy shade of green indicates low deceit, low cunning falsehood, and trickery of a low order. A dark dull shade of green indicates jealousy and envy. Red is the color of passion, but there is a great variety in its manifestations. For instance, a red that appears dull or mixed with smoke indicates sensuality and lower animal passions. Red which appears as bright flashes, sometimes like lightning, indicates anger. In this case, the red is usually shown on a black background when the anger arises from hatred or malice, and on a greenish background when the anger arises from jealousy, and without any background when the anger arises from righteous indignation in defense of what is believed to be a righteous cause. The crimson shade of red represents love and varies in shade according to the character of the passion named. For example, a dull and heavy crimson shade indicates a gross sensual love, while a brighter shade, a clear shade, indicates love blended with higher feelings and accompanied by higher ideals. And the highest form of human love between the sexes manifests in the color of a rose. A reddish shade of brown indicates avarice and greed. A bright shade of orange represents pride and ambition. Yellow, in various shades, represents intellectual power in its various forms. Golden yellow indicates high intellectual attainment, logical reasoning, unprejudiced judgment, and discrimination. Dark dull yellow shades indicate an intellectual power contenting itself with thoughts and subjects of a low, selfish order. The light represents the higher, dark represents lower. A dark shade of blue represents religious emotion, feeling, and tendencies in general. The dull shades, however, indicate religious emotion of a low order, while a bright shade indicates religious emotions of a high order. These shades vary in range from a dull indigo to a bright violet. Light blue indicates spirituality. The spiritual blue is of a clear, transparent, luminous appearance, which is difficult to describe in words. In the aura of one of a very high degree of spirituality, there appears tiny luminous spark-like points, twinkling and sparkling like stars in the heavens on a clear night. Now we also have to add to that list these other colors that are outside of human vision. These fields are usually called, because no one has the right term for them, ultraviolet and infrared. These colors can be experienced by one who is a master in auric seeing.